Family-owned businesses are the engine of the global economy. From the corner bakery to multinational titans like Bacardi, these firms account for 80% of global GDP. Despite this massive footprint, the empires built by these families usually vanish by the third generation. The fortune is made, and then it fades away. The failure stems from a deep psychological contradiction. Families operate on emotion and unconditional support. Businesses, however, require rigid rules, profit generation, and ruthless competition. Mixing emotional bloodlines with cutthroat capitalism without a definitive plan creates a ticking time bomb. Eventually, the friction destroys both the financial wealth and the family itself. Surviving this curse requires a mathematical blueprint. Dr. Maurizio Bragagni relies on a specific formula. Family multiplied by business, divided by structure, equals success. Look at that top line, family times business. This represents the volatile baseline of risk. When a company passes from a single founder to a multi-generational network, the potential for conflict grows exponentially. Take a real-world scenario. Multiplying 5 family directors by 7 shareholders across 2 generations creates 70 individual points of conflict within the boardroom. This uncontrolled multiplication of stakeholders is the exact mathematical threshold where most family businesses collapse into chaos. To neutralize that multiplying risk, you need a powerful denominator. Structure is the only force capable of dividing the chaos and minimizing the threat. In a family business, an organizational chart isn't enough. Structure acts as a rigid boundary, maintained by a strict culture of merit. Sharing a last name does not equate to executive competence. Talent and authority have to be demonstrated. Dr. Bragagni himself experienced this firsthand. He arrived in the UK holding a doctorate in law, yet his uncles started him at the bottom of their family's cable manufacturing company, sweeping floors and earning minimum wage. Working the warehouse floor forced him to learn how the product was actually made. It proved that true authority within a family structure must be earned through sweat and understanding, not inherited by birthright. Without a merit-based structure, the enterprise rots from the inside out, hollowed out by entitled, incompetent leadership. The second requirement of a successful structure is strictly defining the boundaries of who is management, who is a shareholder, and who is purely family. This diagram shows the 3 competing identities that exist inside the company: ownership, business, and family. The overlapping zones in this diagram represent the friction points, the areas where emotional family goals clash directly with economic business realities. Clear structural rules untangle these zones. They prevent the monarchy trap, where one dominant relative makes unchecked decisions that impact everyone else's livelihood. Maintaining those boundaries requires a specific kind of human glue. Bragagni calls this the 3 Ps: the patience to build slowly, the perseverance to maintain discipline, and the practice of asking, or identifying exactly what the business truly needs. A family business structure only survives if the relatives utilize these 3 principles to align their collective purpose above their individual egos. When a family successfully applies rigorous structure to divide their compounding complexities, the result is long-term success. Historical evidence proves this formula works. Look at the Frescobaldi family in Italy, whose agricultural and merchant enterprise has survived since the Middle Ages. They survived for 700 years by continuously educating their next generation, spreading their financial risk, and mastering strict laws of succession. The Frescobaldi longevity confirms the core principle of the Bragagni Method. Leadership here is an act of stewardship, rather than an exercise in power. The equation creates a resilient, self-sustaining institution, one capable of surviving for centuries. Proper structure builds a living legacy that outlasts its founders and provides for generations yet to come.